Hello, I'm Rob Marbury. I'm the marketing chair for Iron Forums. And if you're watching this video, someone has probably suggested you might make a great advisor for Iron Forums. And so we're going to talk for a few minutes with Gary Smith and Barry Lusk about what it takes to be an advisor, what things you might want to consider if you're interested or thinking about being an advisor at Iron Forums. And so I want to start with you, Gary, if you can maybe share a little bit about what type of guy would be a good advisor, maybe versus a facilitator or a member for Iron Forums.
Right. Well, let me start with this. The advisor in Iron Forums is a relatively new role, but I think it's probably one of the most important roles that we have. Because an advisor is bringing years and years of experience, life experience, business experience, marriage experience, and most importantly, is walk of Christ. So a guy that is thinking about this would be a guy that wants to kind of mentor men, that wants to be engaged and involved to the degree that he's got a lot of areas that he can share information, and some of those are success stories, and some of them may be even failures. But he's working with a vast array of men as far as ages and industries they're in, but they're all business owners or they're leading organizations. So he's rubbing elbows with men that are wired to lead, and you're influencing men that are going to then impact others. That to me is exciting for some guys that are on the back nine, so to speak, with their careers, and they've got more time, but they still want purpose and meaning. And this is a place that they can transfer wisdom, they can transfer experiences that will help others. So that's an important role.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think it's interesting. I think the advisors that I think of, many of them have maybe recently retired, or maybe they've sold a business. Yes. They've sold business, or they're in between. You know, they're entrepreneurs and they sold one business, not ready to start the next one yet, but they still want to be involved, still want to contribute. And that's been very meaningful to me. Barry, as a facilitator, you know, how do you see advisors in your forums?
Yeah. Well, first of all, we love our advisors. They're a very important role. And like Gary said, I've seen men who have retired or sold business. I've seen them find real sense of purpose here. And I've seen them find this community as a place for them, for they themselves to stay sharp in their own walk, in their role as husband, father, so most times even grandfather. And to be able to share even not only past life experiences, but really model what it looks like in their personal walk with Jesus now and in their marriage now. Many of these advisors have been married for decades, and they're at a table with men who have been married maybe just a couple of years or more, right? And so the chance to model husbanding well, the chance to model again, like I said, what it looks like to walk closely with Jesus is so important, and the chance to model transparency. I love it that you mentioned that they are willing to share their failures, and that's huge. And we want a culture of transparency in Iron Forums, and oftentimes it's the advisor who puts themselves out there first in that way. So very, very important role around the table.
Yeah, they kind of set the bar and kind of model what you should do as a member.
Yes.
And they understand it and get it.
That's right.
I think the other key thing for advisors to realize is it's flexible. Some of our advisors come every month. Some advisors come once a quarter. Some advisors come once a year, but they're constantly feeding us possible visitors in their network. They're introducing us to other men that might want to be advisors. It just depends on what their time commitment is to other things, but we can use an advisor in a lot of different ways.
And I would even say to underscore flexibility, so it's not even necessarily always about the forum and how often they attend the forum, but even the flexibility of pouring into guys over a quick lunch or coffee in between forums. And again, our advisors have loved to watch God work through those even one-on-one opportunities outside the forums.
And they play a key role in helping the facilitator who's building the community. They're a huge help in quality control of the event, and just making suggestions and having another pair of eyes and ears on our members, because there's so many things going on that one man can't keep up with 15 to 30 men.
That's right. That's right.
So Gary, what does the guy do if he feels called to be an advisor? What's the next step?
Well, I would continue to drill down on our website, and see what we're about, and then let's talk. Let's have a conversation. And our leaders are on the website, their contact information. You can choose who you might want to talk to. So you could talk to a board member, you could talk to a marketing chair, you could talk to a facilitator. But let's have some conversations and see if this is what God's calling you to do. Because that's the question. It comes down to, in this season that you're in, is this something that you're called to do?
I hope I'm called to do that when I sell my company or retire. I think it would be a lot of fun.
I think you're supposed to be a facilitator first, then an advisor.
We'll see. Well, thank you for joining us. We hope you will prayerfully consider being an advisor for Iron Forums. We'd love to have you and love to have a bigger conversation with you. Thanks.